Hillbilly Nitro, your internet knife and gun guru. Here we are, guys, back with another episode. Got a little bit of an informative video, how-to video today. Had a few viewers ask about this. They've seen some of my Smith & Wesson videos, and they've caught my little medallions there on my grips there, and they've noticed that I've two-toned them. Now you see that shiny gold there, that is brass. That is not, they don't come like this. They tend to look gold because of the lacquer that Smith & Wesson puts on these old vintage revolvers here. Just to make sure for you safety sallies, she's clear. We gotta check that first. Anyways, but yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how I clean up my old vintage Smith & Wesson grips there. You see that's the old silver. That's how they all are. Once you clean them up and get the old lacquer out of there. Bit of a little warning here. If you have a beautiful vintage Smith, take this Model 10 for instance, very minty, very mint, may want to just leave them alone. I wouldn't mess with anything that's, me personally anyway. Now you may want to, but I wouldn't do that. But if you got, you know, a shooter grade like this old 1956 here, Smith & Wesson Model 36, pre-Model 36 there, Chief Special. And it's got some wear on it there, so it's not mint. Take my Model 37 here, for instance, bobbed hammer there. Yeah, shooter grade. Not mint, you know, it's meant to be shot. We're not trying to keep it in pristine condition, keep it in all original condition. So you see, I've done these. These actually have a little bit of patina to them, but they've been polished up, but they get a little patina to them, and I think they look better with a little patina there. It kind of darkens up the brass there. But you can see here, this is how they look all shined up there. A little bit of a difference there. Not the best lighting, but that's almost looks like gold right there. It's so shiny. But we're gonna show you how to do this. So it's pretty easy to do if you've got a little bit of patience about you. You need some Q-tips. These come from a doctor's office. But you know, Q-tips will work. Regular Q-tips. You'll need a little bit of polishing paste. This is some knife polish there. Mother's, anything will work. Now here's where it gets a little tricky now. This is 400 grit, no, this is 600 grit. This is 400 grit sandpaper I've cut into some strips. This is 600. You'll need like some 600 or 800 or 1,000. You know, you can keep going up if you want to. I just do it to about 600 or 800 grit. But you want to start with your 400. And the trick that I have figured out on how to do this, I don't think there's any videos out there. I've never seen anybody else do this stuff. Take a pencil there, my snowman pencil here. And what we will do is we will take this and just wrap it around the end of the pencil there, and we can sand back and forth the eraser there. Rubber eraser will grab the paper and we'll keep it in, you know, keep it where we want it. And then there's some delicate parts to this where you want extreme precision of where you're sanding. And I've made these little pieces out of wood there. You just sharpen them up right there. And this would be for your sandpaper to go. We want to get in real detailed corners. Yeah, I'll show you that in the video, you know, coming up here. But we want to get in very precise locations with the sandpaper. Our main issue is to stay off of the wood. So that's what we want to do. That's our main goal, because you don't want to get into the wood. You'll have to refinish your wood or whatever. So when I first started doing this, I kind of messed up and got into the wood a little bit, and I learned a lesson. So First thing you do is take off your grips. You can do this on the gun, or on the revolver, but it's best to take off the grips. We don't want to get sandpaper dust on that beautiful bluing there. So you pop your grips off. If you have trouble getting them off, you can take something sharp and, you know, kind of pry right there at the edge there, and just be very careful. Once you get one of them off, you can just take something and pop it off like that right there. These are the original grips. And as you see, these are the diamond grips. These grips are highly sought after. These are the oldies. But there's the one that I polished, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do this. Now, you will need an X-Acto knife. This is for getting around these corners here. Excuse my dirty fingernails here. I've been eating tangerines and oranges and stuff, so that's why they're kind of dirty. So you want to get the wood. Some of the wood tends to fall over the top of the corner there of your medallions here, kind of lays over. So I like to clean that area up a little bit and get to the corner right there. You'll see. The best tool that I've seen to do this, and it actually helps get all of the old lacquer, the lacquer that makes it look gold, and I don't know, sometimes it looks dirty. But anyways, is this little carbon bit etcher there. You can etch. It's for etching metal and stuff. If the camera will focus. There we go. It's a carbon bit there, a carbon tipped bit. It's like a little pin there. It's for scoring metal and stuff. But you can get down in these crevices real good. You don't really have to worry about scratching anything because it's all rough texture down in there, and you just get down in there and scratch your old lacquer out of there. It usually just busts right out of there, cracks and busts right out of there. It's not much of an issue at all. This really didn't have any left in it. Looks like somebody had cleaned it out. Had a little bit in there. But you just do that. Be careful not to get on your S and W as much as possible, but you can get down in those cracks there. Camera will focus. There we go. You just get down in there and not much force, just kind of light in there, and we're just gonna work back and forth in there until we get that wood to lay back in there. And if you've got lacquer coated, crusted up in there, just bust all that lacquer up. A phosphorus bronze cleaning brush will help you out. You just gotta stay off the wood. So here is the next step that we do once we get the big stuff out of there, is we take some masking tape here, and what I do, you can just cut it in straight strips and lay it down till you get a circle. I kind of cut my little pieces at a half circle or whatever. I can't cut perfect circles, so I just lay those around the very edge there until I go all the way around. Bear with me here, I'm trying to look through the camera and do this. Okay, there we are. We've got that pretty much covered up pretty good. Now, if you've still got some dirt and stuff in there, you just take your brass, your phosphorus bronze, not brass, cleaning tip in there and clean around in there. This one's already clean for the sake of time. Didn't have much in it to begin with, but I have cleaned it with alcohol a little bit. And you see, there we are. Now we're gonna get to what you guys really want to see. I'm gonna try to edit this video for a little bit of time, but a lot of this stuff you guys need to see. Now I tend to like to do the big stuff first. You can do it either way, the detailed stuff first or the big stuff first, but you just take your piece of sandpaper and stick it on your pencil there. Now, we will just make some strokes back and forth there. very careful not to get heavy on the edges there near the wood. But if we do, the masking tape is there. And all we're doing, we're sanding off. I'm guessing these medallions are brass and they're nickel coated. I'm guessing that's what it is. I discovered this by mistake. One day I was cleaning one of them and I chipped some of it off and seen that there was brass underneath there. So we just keep going here. Now I just move my sandpaper down a little bit. Now these medallions tend to be kind of very uneven, so that's why I like the eraser, that rubber, it kind of goes in and out, the waviness of them. Some of them can be wavy, some of them are flat, but they're kind of rounded overall. When I start getting to those edges, I tend to work from the edge to the center. Close as I can get to the edge. Now we will get to these detailed areas here. What we want to do is get on the bottom of that S right there. That's a tough piece right there. Our little stars. Then the top of the S. That's where we have most of the issues at. I tend to usually just go on down to the 600 when I get to these areas. Just put my sandpaper around it. I'm gonna work very carefully around there. Focusing on that top of that S. You just want to be very careful and not take too much off. I don't know if these are fully brass or that's a brass coating or a plating. I've never went too far with it, so I don't know if that would change or not. So I play it safe and take off as less as possible. All I want is that brass finish. You can go over top of your whole piece here with your 600 while you're doing this. Get down on the bottom of that S. Trying to stay off of the wood. And guys, this is it's kind of your choice whether you want this a brushed finish on there or you want it polished. And this is a brush. That's what the brush looks like, and it looks good too. I have a set of my grips that are just brushed. I didn't polish them out, and that looks awesome too. We're about ready to wrap this up. I just got one little more section there. It's best to do this under magnification if you have it. Really tell. I got one more little section there. I'll go back to this real quick, just to speed this up in the interest of time. I'm gonna go over it one last time with this 600. We're gonna go all the way, go over a whole piece, just to get those down the 600 grit. Okay, there we are with the finished up on the sandpaper there. This lighting is not the best, but you can see there it is. Now we're going to get our polish out. And like I said, you can leave this brushed like that right there. Clean that up with some alcohol and leave that a brushed finish, and it will look great. Take a little bit of polish, and then you don't want much on here. We just put a very little bit. We don't want that getting into the wood. It can darken the wood up. So we just go over it very lightly, staying away from the wood. You can see that black right there. We don't want that getting in, bleeding into that wood. Now we take off, we clean it up the same way we was putting it on there. We just keep taking clean Q-tips until we get all of the polish off of there. This will keep polishing while we're doing this. And you see we're starting to get that real glowing effect to it there, the mirror look. Look at that, that's very nice. Look at that. Mirror finish on there. And I think this two-tone look just looks great. It really brings some character and some life back to these old vintage grips, because there's not much you can do with that silver. I just think that silver, just straight silver, doesn't look good. Whether you polish it or not, I just think I don't know, it needs the two-tone effect to it. There she is, guys. Check that out. There's our other grip there that is finished up. Okay, guys, we are finished up. There's the one that I have already finished up. Here's the one we just did. Take a little, put a little oil on the grip there. Now I would guess, I like to have an oil finish. I like the oil finish look on my grips there on the wood. But for you folks that clear coat them, I'm sure you could clear coat right over that and it would stay shiny or brushed, however you wanted to do it there. But there she is. Tell me what you guys think about that. Does that bring life back to the Smith & Wesson grips or what? I think it just brings some life back to them. Really pimps them out if you. They look even better out in the daylight. I may need to get a shot for you guys out in the daylight, but that just brings life back to them to me right there, that two-tone effect. Looks like gold. Looks like 14 karat gold. And then you can, you know, these have some wear on them there. It's got some patina to it. And this brass gets a kind of a rainbow effect when it gets patina to it. A lot better than this, I think. Just the old silver there. Well, guys, that's going to wrap this video up. Thank you guys for stopping by, hanging out with me. Tell me what you guys think about this. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, click that bell, hit the subscribe button. You can't see all these awesome videos if you're not tuned into the channel. We got a ton of new subscribers joining in. We got a video going past 1 million, so got a lot of new subscribers. I welcome you guys. And we'll catch you on the next one, guys. It's springtime. It's almost rains time. So we'll catch you on the next one, guys. Hey, Billy. Over and out of here, guys. Peace. Just a beauty.